So you can't seem to love your stepchildren like your children, and you think there's a problem with you? I laughed, and I was not laughing at you, I'm laughing with you, because this was one of the major things and challenges that I faced. Initially, I thought it would be so easy to love them because I loved their father, but I didn't know what love meant at the time, right? I didn't know it was sacrifice. I didn't know it was serving. I didn't know it was any of those things. I didn't know it was bringing your best, so that you can also receive the best. I thought it was just coming to receive, right? And everybody has to dance to my pleasure. And for me, that's what love meant, right? And so it was a really big struggle. Now, it became worse, I think, when I now had my child. And it took about a year after I got married. I had my baby a year after I got married. And so because I also, at the time, also didn't know what to really do for my stepchildren, I also didn't know how to be a mother, right? A lot of times we think we know what it takes to be a mother. But not too long after we have the child, we realize we don't know. But rather than accepting that we don't know and going to seek help, we just keep going through the motions, and we're suffering, and our children are suffering. And that's what really happened. Let me tell you what it started doing. I started to have this chatter in my head. I would be thinking, if I did something to my stepkids, I would ask myself, if it was my child, would I have done it that way? But I realized that when I did stuff to my child, like for example, maybe then I used to be I would carry my slippers because I believed that all we needed to do was beat children to make them conform, right? And so when I beat my child then, or I hit my child, or discipline my child at the time, I wouldn't ask myself any question. I would have felt I did what was best at this time. But that didn't happen when it had to do with my stepkids. Then I will see that my child will always come and play with me and always come to spend time with me and, be with me, and I will run away from her. And I'll keep asking myself, am I spending too much time with her and not spending enough time with my stepchildren? Do I love her more than I love them? It was a huge struggle for me in my heart. Until one day, I got clarity. And I realized that I think what happened was my nephew was in my house at the time. And I treated my nephew normally. If he asked for something, I would either say yes or say no. If he was naughty, I would scold him. And I didn't have any chatter in my head. And I didn't have to ask myself if I loved him more than my child or not. And I realized that struggle has come from the fact that people automatically think stepmothers are meant to be mean and are meant to be wicked. So all they're doing is looking out to see what you do. And then one day, I can't remember what happened. I was speaking to my sister-in-law at the time. And she said to me, Adiola, do the best that you can do for these children. That if their mother was alive, she won't do more than what you are doing right now. And the truth is that if you don't do, you will regret it. So do whatever you need to do. They will talk regardless. The ones that you can't do, don't do it. The ones that you can do, put in everything that you can to do it and leave it. There's a different connection that I have with my child because I carried her, right? There was a bond. I carried her for 9 months in my stomach, and there was a bond between her and I. When she came out into this world also, there was a huge bond that we both had because we did a lot of skin to skin. So I'm not surprised that I'm like the air she breathes, because I spent a lot of deep time with her when she was born to keep her comfortable. I wasn't that mother that said, oh, don't carry the baby because you will spoil her. I would create all kinds of situations to make her feel comfortable and make her feel safe, even when she was a baby. And I didn't have that connection with my stepchildren, and I couldn't force it. So the reason why I was uncomfortable was because I was forcing something that didn't exist. But I could love them just like I loved my nephew. I could love them and respect them and treat them normally. If they are naughty, you scold them or you speak to them. If they want something, you either say yes or you say no, without the heaviness of asking myself, oh, would I have done differently if it was my child? And I came to terms with the fact that I might never ever love my stepchildren the way I love my child because I didn't have the bond that I have with my child with them? Can I serve them as human beings? Yes. Can I love them as human beings? Yes. My head disappeared completely because I realized that I didn't have to think those thoughts anymore. I became more free to do things for them and with them. And also because I was growing in the process as well. I was becoming a better human being for myself. I started to love myself more. It was easy to love them more. I started to expand myself towards myself and do things for myself that made me feel comfortable. And it was able for me to do that with my stepkids and then my child, because I wasn't even a better mother than I was a stepmother. So my own case was really, really like that. But I still had that pressure of having to treat her differently from my stepchildren. And I've come to terms with it. The truth is, whether you do or you don't, you'll be damned. People will speak regardless. So you do you. But make sure that you doing you is from a place of love, right? You can tell yourself the truth. Even if you tell other people lies, you, within yourself, you know that this thing that you just did, you could have done better. And so if you know that you can do better, do better. Because they're carrying the shame of, no. It's by saying this thing that I did, I know I can do better. And so you just get up and do better. Next time, if they come to meet you and you felt like, I was a little bit too harsh at them, next time when they come, you can apologize for it, right? Because you need to be honest with yourself that this is the first time that you're a stepmother. You will never get it right all the time. Never. This is the first time you're a mother. If at least for me, that was the first time that I'm also a mother. I will never get it right all the time. I will make some hits. I will make some misses, and I'm okay with it. So it's coming to terms with the fact that as a human being, you will never get things right according to other people 100% of the time. Some of the times you will say yes, they'll be excited. Some of the times you will say no, they won't like you. And you must be okay with it, knowing, especially if what you did was out of a place of love and that you are looking out for them, not that, I want to show you that I'm now, no. All of that is from a place of hurt. And so you need to go and deal with it. So if what you feel within yourself really is that I can do better, then do better. But if what you feel within yourself really is that you are looking for control, for command, you want to prove a point, you're criticizing, you're comparing yourself to who their mother is, all of that is from a place of pain. And I went through all of that, especially because I compared myself to a dead person, which is even worse, right? And I never met her. So it's not like I knew what she could have done differently, right? And people will say different things, and people said different things to my hearing, some to other people that came to tell me stuff. Half of those things don't matter anymore to me. And people know better than to come and tell me nonsense. They know better because they know how I'll answer them. So ask yourself, is there something that I'm blocking to just love them? But if your question really is what it is, because I don't know the full story, if your question really is you find yourself not doing this, is there a problem? The answer is no. The truth is they're not your children. So you should not expect yourself, and neither should anybody expect you to love them like yours. However, you can treat them as decent human beings because you're a decent person. If you treat them badly, it's not about those children, it's about you. You've got to go and find out why you're being mean to them and how you are first being mean to yourself and what story you're telling yourself about those children. But if it's innocent and you're doing everything that you can to love them and it's not coming, stop and just love them where you are. Just love them where you are. And love never fails. True love, never. If they don't appreciate it today, they'll appreciate it tomorrow. But you keep being you and respect them, serve them where you can, and be a good person to them in whatever way you can. But first be good to you, and then you'll be able to extend it to others. I hope this helps. Hi there. My name is Adiola Kingsley James. I hope you really got a lot from my videos. Don't stop at just listening. Be a doer. If I asked you to do something, do it please. But don't also stop at that. Share me with other people. Click the notification bell below and do what? Yes, subscribe. And then remind yourself every time my new videos come out so that you can watch them and you can learn from them. I really, really, really honor you. Have a wonderful day. Love and light.